Hello guys, and welcome on the show. Today I am with the one and only Felipe Pikullik, who is a watchmaker based in Germany, if I'm right. So Felipe, thanks for saying yes to our invite, and it's a real pleasure welcoming you on the show. First thing first, how are you, and could you introduce yourself to the audience?
So, first of all, thank you very much for this interview. I'm very honored, and yes, I'm from Berlin. I'm 28 years old, and now we are based in Berlin, how you said, and we are a little workshop of 12 people.
Okay.
Yes, since 20, 2017, I started the brand alone, and I worked on my first skeleton pieces, which I learned from my master Kodoka. And I was learning at Glashütte, my apprenticeship, for 3 years. After that, I went to Kodoka, my second master, which was a beautiful time of my life where I learned a lot of skeletonizing, sewing, and
Yeah.
filing. And yes, my passion was not just about how to skeletonize and finish the pieces, which I learned very well at Kodoka. But the second thing of my passion for watchmaking was how to construct a new movement or complications, and how to make the parts directly, how to craft
Okay.
them, not just finish them. And for that, I went to Rolf Lang. He's the father of Marco Lang, which
Okay.
made Lang and Heine. And yes, he was my third master, where I learned how to construct a watch and how to make the pieces. Right, this was maybe the place where I wanted to stay for
Yeah.
my lifetime, but it was in a very small village, and I born in Berlin, and I have many friends and family there, so
Yeah.
I had to go back, and I'm very thankful for my masters, what they teach me, and yes, now I want to continue the legacy of them, the knowledge that they learned from their masters and also from their parents, but Lang. And yes, now we are in Berlin. I started alone to make skeleton pieces. And the second thing which I worked on was the moon phase, which um, maybe show my passion and the
Yeah.
future where I want to go. Um,
That will to master all those knowledge that you learn from your masters. Is it the reason why you decided to do all those little videos that you publish on social media to really show how things are made?
yes, for me, there are two reasons. Um, I love watchmaking, and I want to show it for more people,
Yeah.
because watchmaking is not so well known under the collectors groups. Yes, but the main audience don't know about watchmaking. What is really watchmaking? What is finishing? What is making? And I want to show that. I want to show the differences, and yes, that's the reason why I do the Instagram videos, to inspire more people, right?
Yeah. Personally, I love them, and I always use them as an example to show to other brands or other watchmakers. Say, let's do what he's doing. It's very nice, and all the comments are very nice. So you explain us what you were looking for with all those master and what you are trying to do today with your own atelier. But what made you become a watchmaker?
There are many reasons, and the main reasons was maybe since I'm a child, I loved watches. I was
Okay.
just when I saw a jeweler with watches, I stand there and just look at the watches and was
What was
admiring.
your favorite watches at the time? Your top three?
at that time I was 6 years old, so I don't
Yeah.
remember my it was very early that I loved them.
Okay.
But at the beginning, it was as I think everybody, I recognized Swatch as a kid, right? Swatch and Adidas and this little sport watches for kids, right? After that,
Mm.
I looked about more classic watches like Festina, and the first one was a Fossil because it's cheap and you have some
Yeah.
beautiful designs there. Um, and with 10, 11, I recognized watchmaking on the TV. I saw somebody who was uh, disassembling and assembling a watch. And then I saw, okay, it's not just the watch, there's a lot behind, much more behind the design than
Okay. Yeah.
you see, right? This was fascinating me. And at the school, I wasn't a good
Same.
yeah,
Same.
you understand? But at mathematics and physics, this was my passion. And astronomy, I was at home, I was learning astronomy because it's a passion also. And from my father, I was learning craftsmanship because he's building like chairs and making rooms and this.
Okay.
So if you combine everything, I am a watchmaker. I don't have to learn to be, it's my character, right?
Okay. That's really interesting. So now we know why you are a watchmaker, how you became a watchmaker, but could you explain us what is your working method? How
Yes.
Felipe Pikullik's watch sees the light of the day?
Yeah. This have also a story from a backstory and also what I want for the future. Because what we are doing now is just a step, a little step.
Mm.
And at the beginning, I had the romantic vision that a watchmaker make everything.
Yeah.
He sketch, he make from just a piece of metal the watch, and then there's somebody who wants this watch because it's beautiful. But and my goal was to go to Lang & Sons to learn from
Mm-hmm.
them, and my imagination was there's a master and I will be he will be my teacher and I will be continuing his work, right? I just wanted to be the best for them, and my imagination was the not what is the reality.
Exactly. Unfortunately.
And it's okay because Lang & Sons is a big name, right? And when he was alive, the watches was what I was imagining. But if somebody dies, which have the philosophy, there will come other people which the first mission is to keep the brand alive, right? So it's very difficult to keep the brand alive and also the passion and the philosophy. It's difficult. I think maybe if we say me, I have this passion, I have this vision, I have this philosophy, the people around me are learning this from me. But if I die and they die also, we have other people coming, working
Yeah.
and keeping this brand alive. I think they don't are capable to keep the philosophy alive. It's difficult for hundreds of years. Breguet, he was a pioneer, right? And
Yeah.
now it's different, but it's important. Also, if they do other work than usually, but just to keep the names in honor, it's okay. I think it's okay if the work is different, but the name is an honor. They have a
Yeah.
very good quality, right? So just a little think. This
Okay.
is
No,
my
but that's
thoughts about
interesting
it.
because I have a question for you about your vision. Could you say more about it? What's your
Yes,
vision about your brand and
yeah,
what you are trying to create?
yes. Um, Sorry, I don't answer the question, but yes,
No, it's
this was,
fine.
I was drifting up. Yeah, the story is of how we make the watches is I started to skeletonize them, the unitast basis of ITA,
Hmm.
to showcase the skills, the basic skills of a watchmaker, right? The finishing skills and also um, adjusting skills, right? Because we lay a lot of importance to the accuracy of the watch. So you can just assemble a watch or you can adjust it for some hours, right?
Mm.
Um, and for for the second step, for the future, the moon phase was the mission to make a complication, which I constructed, to make all the parts which are for this complication on this unitast basis completely handcrafted and hand finished. This was the
Mm.
second step. And also an astronomical complication. This is what we want to do for the future, completely handmade and constructed by us watches, which have always a connection to astronomy, right? Maybe a
Okay.
philosophic and also complicated.
Okay, that's really interesting. So, could you say more about your working methods? Maybe you can choose like a concrete example,
Sure.
so people can really understand how you are working and how this vision and what you are trying to achieve sees the light of the day.
Yes. I think the best example to showcase what I want to do and how we work is the moon itself for the moon phase. The moon is made of one piece brass, right? It's just a pin of
Yeah.
8 millimeter. And then on the watchmaker slate, I just, from a hand cutter on the watchmaker slate, I cut the complete moon free from hand. Not with the support, which is also handmade, right? But
Mm.
uh, just a few people know it that I do this because I just do it because it's the passion, and I want to really in every watch I want to make one piece like just about passion. It doesn't make sense to make the moon this way, but it
Yeah.
showcases the skills, right? Just to make a ball just from hand. This is difficult, very difficult.
How long does it take to do that?
Just to get the moon in shape from the material, it's like 1 or 2 days.
Okay,
Yes,
that's
because you have a bigger material and you have to cut it down the whole constructor to the millimeter that you want the ball, and then you have to begin to make the shape of the ball.
yeah.
And this is difficult because you can't see anything and you can't measure anything. And I do it with a contrast. I cut a hole into a plate and I cut the half, so I have something to control the ball, right? And
Mm.
then just controlling and just a little bit up and then controlling. It's
That's that's mesmerizing. That to see the passion, because maybe you could just buy a ball
sure,
and you
sure,
just, I don't know, 3D printing or something like way more easier, but you choose to take the toughest, how do you say that, road.
method. Mm.
But because you are passionate and you want like people see that passion, so thanks a lot choosing that concrete example, because I'm sure people will see with another look at your watches saying, okay, he just spent 2 days, 2 full days doing just the moon phase, which is
Yeah,
just one component of your watches. So that's impressive.
yeah.
And would you say that you have a speciality? And if so, which one it is?
You mean from the skills of watchmaker?
Yeah, the skills.
Yeah,
Would you say that, okay, I'm sure you can create, assemble, disassemble, design a watch. That's what you are doing in your atelier. But maybe you have one specific skill that you know that you master it and say, when I have to do that, I'm happy
Yes,
because that's a lovely part.
I have two things, and they are different. It's maybe like sports, you have different passions. And the two skills that I love most of practicing is working on the lathe, making gears, cutting gears from hand, and making pinions, small parts, right? But on the big watchmaker's lathe, this is so specific. You need so much concentration for some parts because you have so many steps. And if you make one not good, and you are working like 20 or 30 hours for one piece, this is
Yeah.
very, very frustrating. So there are some things that I'm doing just on night because nobody calls me, nobody comes to me. I wake up and I just go to sleep for 2 hours, and then I wake up to work just alone. And this is the most romantic thing that I love about watchmaking. You can work when you want, and you have your own universe in this moment, right?
Yeah.
Everything is blended out. The second thing, which is like meditation, maybe, because I don't have to think. I just make it. It's solving, just solving.
Yeah.
Because you create something, you change something directly. Directly, you change the shape, you change everything. You can have just a plate, and you saw it, and you see what you want, right? And
That's
somebody, you can show the plate, raw plate, to somebody. He see just a plate. You show him what you did just with the saw. It's a big difference. Maybe the englage is also a big difference, but just with the loop. Assembling,
yeah.
you see the parts, it's assembled, okay, you see the parts connected, right? But sawing is something very special for me.
That's And when we look at your creations, what do we need to have in mind to really understand them and what you want to express with those watches?
Yeah. What I want to express is to keep the watchmaking, the traditional watchmaking skills alive, and also to find the loose skills. This is what I'm doing. I buy every watchmaking book that I find, and I try to find in these books for years now, for 10 years now, to find every way to make some parts and try them out to figure out which is the most traditional and best way to make the parts.
Okay.
Maybe it's not the fastest, but it's
No, no,
about
no, but
passion.
it's not the fastest, but maybe it's the best way to build on your future.
Yeah.
Making sure that, okay, no, we know that Felipe Pikullik masters the majority of the skills or understand how to do things. So we will be able to see in the future maybe more complex, or we know that when by knowing that we can really see the future of your brand in a different way because you took the time to choose that rough path, road to create it's as we say, you work on your basement in your, like, your brand is like a house or a building, and you take the time to make sure that your basement are the toughest one, that with nothing can happen to it.
I
So
I think the best way to explain is the if you see my brand, it is not a brand, it's not a manufacturer. I want to build, don't want to build a manufacturer. My goal is to build a live museum,
okay.
right? A living museum, a
Okay,
practicing museum. This is my goal. A practicing school and museum. Yeah.
that's nice. That's super interesting. And you already answered it, but how do you see your future?
yeah, the future is, I want to, if you see, we are 12 people now. It went
Yeah.
very fast to this point. Um, but it is also because I think about the video, through the videos we do on Instagram, everybody see how deep we go into the material. And everybody who's in my workshop is there because they really wanted to be there, right? And everybody was ready to, for example, one person, he's Mattia, he people like this in my workshop. And for the future, this is what I want. I want to inspire more people from watchmaking because I think out there's a really big power about a capacity of people who have the skills in there, but they don't know it because they even don't know about watchmaking. How they know to have the skills, right? This is
Yeah.
what I want, to inspire more people to be a watchmaker and to come to us if I have the capacity, because it's also difficult. But
You
I
will
trust.
receive like 2,000 emails saying, Felipe, may I work for you? And you will be maybe the second or the biggest watch brand in the world in front of Rolex.
I,
But
I,
great.
if it's possible, I do it. But I do my
Yeah.
best. I do my best to keep the, many people as I can to learn watchmaking, to learn with me, and to grow and to keep growing watchmaking, and also for the collectors to create something special, which is maybe new because we have people which not come from the watchmaking world. I have something really new, which is from the mechanical world, which is not integrated into watchmaking until today. And we have this method many years from now, like 80 years it's existing, but not in watchmaking. And we want to integrate it into watchmaking. So, and this comes just because I'm open for more people which don't come from the industry of watchmaking. They inspire me with new ideas that I can't have because I'm a watchmaker. I'm specialized in watchmaking, and they bring fresh air to watchmaking. This is
Yeah.
yeah, we want to connect tradition with improving, right? This is the goal.
Yeah. That's very, very nice. And also, again, congrats for what you are doing, because it's not an easy life to be an entrepreneur, creating your own brand, doing watches. It's not easy. With you are working for yourself more than 10 years now. If so, I'm sure you do have a lot of stories or encounters that you can share. Do you have one of them in mind that you would like to share to the audience?
About watchmaking?
About, yes, watchmaking, maybe someone you met that like had an impact on your life, a moment, a specific moment that you lived and say, okay, I just lived that. Is that real? Am I not dreaming?
Yes, I had. My first thing to do was at Rolf Lang, my master, my third master. He gave me a moment I never will forget. He gave me an old Lang& Sons pocket watch and tools and material.
Okay.
It was broken, and he the first day, he gave me this pocket watch and the room, and he said, "Make the watch working again." I said, "I can't. I don't learn this."
Yeah.
And he said to me one sentence. It's if you can imagine something, or if somebody did it in the past, you can. So if somebody did something in the past and you can imagine, or just you can imagine, it's possible. You just have to find the way. He left me in the room until I'm ready.
That's beautiful. Felipe, I would like to thank you for being on the show, for all your answer to all my questions and all story. I think your story will inspire others. It would be perfect if with your story and what you are creating, you creating vocation to bring more people to the watchmaking studies, and maybe some people will work in your workshop. I would like to thank you for that, and I hope we will be able to meet each other very soon.